TGIF, everybody. Happy Friday. And thanks so much for spending your morning with us here on Undisputed. I'm Jen Hale alongside Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Guys, are you ready this morning?
I am ready. I'm ready.
Let's see. Somebody across from me says that Cooper Rush is a fraud and that Tom Brady is just plain bad. And somebody across from me says that LeBron James will lead the Lakers to 55 wins.
I didn't
this year.
say 55.
You said 55.
50.
You started
50.
out somewhere around 55.
50.
I'm going to hold
I got 10 cases to 50.
I can't wait for this show.
50. You want the bet?
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll talk about it in about 15
Guys,
minutes.
we're going to dive into all that, and you have plenty of time to put your do bets in place. But let's start with a serious topic this morning. After Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa hit his head and stumbled to return to a huddle on Sunday against the Bills, he was cleared to play against the Bengals last night. But Tua was sacked in the second quarter. The back of his head hit the ground while his arms appeared to seize up. Tua was put onto a stretcher, taken to a local hospital. It's a big point of controversy now. Shannon, should Tua have ever been allowed to play last night?
Hell no, absolutely not. Everybody saw what happened on Sunday. We saw him hit his head almost similar, not as hard as he hit it last night.
No.
We saw him hit the back of his head. We saw him immediately grab his head. He didn't grab his back. He didn't grab his ankle. Skip, I'm not saying that can't happen. I've seen guys, we watched Sterling Shepard on Monday night tear his knee, and the first thing he grabbed his knee. He didn't grab his head. He didn't grab his shoulder. We see guys tear and
by the way, how he tore up his knee, I still can't fit. It's like the craziest thing I've ever seen.
thing ever. Normally, wherever you feel pain, Skip, that's what you grab. That's just, ain't somebody said, well, grab your head if you had an injury, grab your knee. That's just instinct. He grabbed his head. He gets to his feet. He's stumbling around. An offensive lineman have to hold him up. Now, they get him into the back and says, well, protocol. And Skip, I get it. It was his back. He was complaining about his ankle. Well, see, if I say his back, his ankle, I don't really have to do concussion protocol because that's not, but we saw. Everybody saw the man hit the back of his head. Now, this is a fast Skip. Normally from Sunday to Sunday is a fast turnaround if you have a kind of a significant injury. It's the fast turnaround Sunday to Sunday.
Yeah.
Now, take 3 days off of that. Now you're going Sunday to Thursday and you're dealing with a head injury. He should have never been out there. Skip, I played 14 years. You've covered it. I've seen guys get concussed and they're literally snoring on the field. But I've never seen a concussion so bad where his body goes deformed, where his hands do things that I've never seen man's hands do when they're being concussed.
That is true.
So what it tells me, and I'm not a neurologist, but he's probably had trauma within the last week to that brain, and then he had another trauma to it, and that's what happened. Skip, as an athlete, sometimes you have to save us from ourselves because when you sign up for a team sport, you have to be willing to do things for said team.
Yep.
And I don't want to let my teammates down. They're counting on me. I'm 3-0, Skip. 3-0. We're the number one team in the AFC right now.
You're the talk of the town and the talk of the league.
Went on the road and beat Baltimore, beat Buffalo in a great game at home. Feeling good about ourselves. Beat Coach Belichick. Skip, he should not have been turned around. So now he's had 2 concussions in 5 days, and I don't care what they diagnosed it as, his back, his ankle. I know what I saw. And this is what's going to happen. Now, he's going to miss a significant amount of time, or he should. Maybe a week, who knows? He might even miss the rest of the year. This might have put his career in jeopardy.
Might have.
Because I want to know the neurologist that's going to sign off on Tua getting back out there in a week or 2 weeks. I ain't put my name on that one. I'm going to let y'all have that one because we just saw what happened. And everybody talk about why y'all keep showing it. Why Miami put him out there? Put Teddy Bridgewater out there. You know the man have because here's the thing, Skip. If we put him in concussion protocol, ain't no way in hell he clearing from Sunday to Thursday.
No.
He's going to miss the game.
No doubt.
And they know that.
No doubt.
Skip, I'm going to turn it over to you, but this is what I want to ask. Mike McDaniel, if Tua was your son and you saw what happened and he told your dad it was my back, independent neurologist, Stephen Ross, if that was your son, would you have allowed him to go out there and play after you saw what happened on Sunday? Would you have allowed him to play on Thursday? Because sometimes, Skip, you got to make it a personal. Like when I go to the doctor, I say, hey, forget the celebrity. Forget the guy you see on Undisputed. Forget the guy that played in the NFL. I'm your son.
Yeah.
I'm your brother. What would you do? If that was your son, would you have sent him back out there in that game on Sunday, would you have allowed them to play on Thursday? I don't believe they would have. They put Tua in this situation, and now everybody's asking questions like, oh, no. NFL, this is a bad look because everybody saw on Sunday, and then they saw this, and the commissioner was in the stands. He watched this. NFL concussion protocol some bull jive. Because if you can clear this man to go back out there Sunday in the time frame that they did and then allow him to play on Thursday, I hate that this happened to Tua. But this is a horrible look for the NFL that says they're trying to do the right thing by their players. At the end of the day, they're trying to do the right thing by the game. They don't care about these players. These players are disposable, and the players need to take a hard look and say, do the right thing for said player, not said team.
Okay. Before I launch, to answer your rhetorical question about what if Mike McDaniel had a son playing quarterback for him, well, he's treating Tua like a son. He talks about him like it's more like a big brother, little brother type relationship. So just for the record, Mike McDaniel said after the game, I have absolutely zero patience for and will never, ever put a player in position for them to be in harm's way. I'm just telling you what he said after the game. He was like over-emotional about it. No outcome of a game would influence me to be irresponsible as a head coach of a football team. And then he concludes, I don't think an injury from last week made him fall the same way this week. That's from Mike McDaniel, his big brother or father or whatever, however you want to characterize it, because he has developed a very close personal relationship with Tua in the wake of Brian Flores, who was very down on Tua and was very difficult and tough on Tua, right?
Right.
So that's the relationship that Mike McDaniel is trying to defend. Like, I think he was totally fine. And what did they say after the game? They said it had zero to do with his head. They said it was all about his back locked up, and he also had an ankle injury. That's what they said after the game. And when we talked about it on Monday, you were shrugging like, well, I guess we have to believe them because an independent neurologist assigned to the game by the National Football League had to sign off on him playing the second half against the Bills. Am I right?
They did, but Skip, I can beat I'm fine. How many fingers I got up? I'm fine. It's Sunday. We're playing the Buffalo Bills. My name is Tua. My mama name is this. Skip, you can beat that because it's not like a broken bone where I can look at X-ray and see it. Or you got a broken bone. Or you got a torn ACL. It's not definitive like that. So you've got to be keen with what you see, and you got to believe the player is telling you the truth.
Yep.
Skip, you know damn well a player's going to lie. Because if I tell you I got a concussion, you're not going to let me go back in the game.
Yeah, but some they're not capable of lying because they're out.
He wasn't capable of lying last night.
No, he was not capable of doing anything last night.
Exactly.
I was afraid he wasn't capable of actually being able to walk.
Because what did McDaniel say? He went out there, he's like, what happened?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And I've had concussions like that where I don't remember anything. Skip, I got knocked down the AFC Championship game, and when I came through, I went back in the game and played, but I remember, like, what happened? I remember looking up on the sideline in the fourth quarter, like, how did we get the lead? We were losing.
Okay.
What happened? I said, if we win this game, what happened, Rod? Well, I said, we going to the Super Bowl, fool. I was like, oh, and I started celebrating. I'm talking about Skip, I was literally out.
Okay.
Tua was worse than that.
All right. I got you. So I told you Monday, my eye test, having covered your game for these many years.
Yes.
My smell test said concussion.
Correct.
It's glaringly concussion.
Correct.
Everything you saw, it was the essence of concussion.
Correct.
Because he wobbles to his feet after his head bounced off the turf. After Matt Milano, I'm talking Matt Milano just shoved him down.
Yes.
So he goes back. He's had a long history of injuries. We know this.
Right.
He can be a little fragile.
Yes.
And he bangs his head off the turf. Well, you know and I know it can concuss you.
Yes.
And even though it's not cement-based AstroTurf, it's still a hard surface, hard enough that if you bounce on it, it can concuss you. So
and you're most vulnerable in the back.
Absolutely. So he gets up and he's a little wobbly. Then he says, no, I got this. And he takes another couple of strides. And all of a sudden, his knees buckle. Concussion.
Correct.
Don't tell me back, because if you have a back injury, I know back injury. I have lived with bad backs. For 40 years, I've fought with I ice my back every single night. Ask my wife. Because you have to baby it. But if it's locked up on you, you can't get up. That's the problem. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the problem with the back is you're struggling to even get to your feet.
Correct.
When he got to his feet, okay, then he takes a couple of steps. And he's woozy.
Yes.
He goes down to a knee.
Yes.
And his offensive linemen are like, uh-oh.
And one of them has to grab him to hold him up.
Right. And there are things called spotters that the NFL has positioned up in the stands in various key positions
Right.
to watch carefully.